Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf wants democracy strengthened across the world. At the African Women Leadership Network Steering Committee meeting taking place in Monrovia. And away from Liberia, more than 500 cases of cholera have been reported in Mozambique, with the first death reported already after Cyclone Ida in that region. Well, those developments are all packaged. After this break, we'll be back with the details. Welcome back to the program. President George Manawia is currently in Senegal to attend the inaugural ceremony of the Senegalese President Macky Sall. The president is expected to also attend the official Independence Day celebration on April 4 of that country. Well, according to the presidential press secretary Arsolo Kebe, the president is also expected to meet with the vice president of Turkey on the sidelines of his visit to Senegal.
First of all, he's here to attend the inauguration of President Macky Sall of Senegal, who was elected on the 24th of February. That will be his second term in office. The president is here with more than 70 other leaders. World leaders are expected to attend already. We have 6 arrivals, that President of Guinea, President of Mali, Ethiopia, among those that have already arrived. And then the president will also be here to attend the independence celebration of Senegal, which takes place on the 4th of April. Besides that, the president's delegation will be holding a series of meetings with other leaders. Say, for example, today at 3 o'clock local time here, he'll be holding a meeting with his Guinean counterpart. They are all on the same floor in the same hotel. He has decided, he asked to have an audience and to have some bilateral discussion with the president. That will be done today. And tomorrow, right after the inauguration of President Macky Sall, the Vice President of Turkey, His Excellency Fuad Okete, will be holding a meeting also with the Liberian leaders. So on the 3rd of April, the president also has a series of meetings with business or the investors here in Senegal.
A 2-day African Women Leaders Network Steering Committee is taking place in Monrovia and expected to be concluded by tomorrow, Tuesday. The meeting brings together leaders of the African Union, ECOWAS, with focus on realizing gender parity. Former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, patron of the event, wants democracy strengthened across the world.
The aim of the AWLN is to make a difference by strengthening our common resolve and re-engineering our efforts for impactful delivery. AWLN thus has adopted a comprehensive approach for enhancing women's leadership and ensuring a true translation of Aspiration 6 of Africa's Agenda 2063 that puts women and youth at the center of Africa's transformation. We know that we must pay particular attention to the role of young women, women in our rural communities, and we must also ensure access of our women, particularly those in the informal sector, to capital and help them to develop strong entrepreneurship. This strategic and timely meeting of the steering committee, where we are today, gives an impetus to our initiative next year, 2020, a year of momentous anniversaries, 25 years since the Beijing Conference on Women, 20 years since the adoption of the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325. When will women get parity?
The Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security of the African Union, Benita Diop, wants women leadership to be a motivation to others.
And African Women Leaders Network must help to ensure and entrench the younger generation for current and future leadership. Our sisters in ECA are also exploring ways to secure financial support for women entrepreneurs and guidance for women's economic participation. We must also work towards ensuring African Women Leaders Network national chapters become self-sufficient. These are ways to ensure our LIN chapter have shared concerns and clear milestones for success. We have great appreciation for the support of Germany and the Friends of the African Women Leaders Network, the group of Friends of the African Women Leaders Network. We are looking for additional investors to join Germany and at the same time focus on self-sufficiency. I want to thank Ms. Lntv for her leadership and dedication to the African Women Leaders Network. Her leadership has made it possible for AWLIN to gain the recognition of the AWLIN and the endorsement of the chairperson and the UN Secretary General. As we plan for 25 years of the Beijing Platform for Action in 2020, we hope that AWLIN will be another institution to build on for the next 25 years. I'm sending my very best wishes to all of you, sincerely. This was Madame Kumbile's address that I was asked to read. Now, you remember I mentioned an anecdote. In July 2016, Liberia was celebrating its independence, and Madam President invited all of us to sign off.
The Ministry of Commerce over the weekend commenced the disposal of 10 containers of contaminated pig feed imported into the country by Shitu Brothers Incorporated on the Bourgeois Island. The ministry is tracking over 2,700 barrels of the contaminated pig products from the company's warehouse in Seiontown, Bourgeois Island for disposal at the Wentown community dump site. Rachel Colley witnessed the event in our reports.
It was a joint operation involving the Commerce and Justice Ministries, Environmental Protection Agency, and Monrovia City Corporation, among others. About 2,700 contaminated pig feet brought in by the Shitu Brothers Incorporated was destroyed. Following the disposal, Commerce Inspector General Josephine Davis spoke with the press.
A light from the European Commission General telling all about a pig feed that went to 17 countries, including Ghana and Nigeria and Liberia. So they gave us the alert and told us that the outbreak disease on this pig feed, so we shouldn't allow it on the market. The Shitu Brothers were already taking the product from the port. So we saw the 10 containers and we told them that, okay, you can offload and put it in your warehouse. What we would do is to quarantine it because we have documents to show that this product came from Netherlands. It was exactly the product that came from Netherlands.
Ensuring that the contaminated pig feet are disposed of safely, an 8 feet deep pit was dug at the Wentown community dump site. The contaminated products were buried safely, ensuring that it did not create pollution for the residents of the community. Madam Davis, however, sounded a caveat warning business people, meaning importers, to desist from importing substandard goods into the country.
Well, we told people, if you want to bring product to this country, it must be of standard. There is nowhere, in no part of the world, you will allow contaminated food can because you want your economy to boom. Who are the people that are buying this product? It's the same people who you want the money from. So before you bring product to this country, you must be able to make sure that the product is of standard. So if you bring the product and we're not satisfied, we carry it to our laboratory and test it. So if we find out that the product is not standard, it's not okay for human consumption, definitely you get yourself to blame because we have to do due diligence by bringing it and dumping it.
I am Rachel Gwangbe Colley reporting for Lntv News.
Rachel, thank you there for that report. The head of the Liberia Albino Society, Patricia Logan, says discrimination against albinos has considerably reduced in Liberia. According to her, some men have been in the habit of abandoning their wives simply because they give birth to albinos.
In the past, 2 years, person with albinos have been actually, discriminated. They have been marginalized, whether it be from parent, guardian, whether it be for community dwellers, family members, in schools, in hospitals. All of those things are happening. When I was young coming up, I went through it. Even, in vehicles. In those days when you get in vehicles and then they see somebody in the middle, albino person slow down, and then somebody wants to get in, that you want to get in, they will tell the driver, say, don't allow that person to get in. I will pay for the seat. I'm telling you. So all these things also happened until the institution came in 2009. And that's how our institution fight the cause. We went from community to community. We had a witness, we had workshops. We went to the counties, we tell the people that don't see this color, as from different planet, or see them to be people like you. Just how your mother took 9 months upon you. That's how the albino people take. Albino issue is not a curse, it's a genetic condition.
Well, if you're just coming our way, you're watching Lntv News Live, coming to you from Pinsville, outside of the nation's capital, Monrovia. My name is Edward Tamba, anchoring this edition of the program, and the big stories we're following. President George Manawia arrives in Senegal, holds bilateral talks with his Guinean counterpart, Alpha Condé, made sparse and former heads of state. Cam returns to Wela Township in Margibi County following protests by motorcyclists that led to the burning of a police station in that area. Former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf wants democracy strengthened across the world. And up the home front, more than 500 cases have been reported in Mozambique, with the first death already confirmed after that cyclone Ida in that region. We take a very short break to bring you our sports. Stay tuned.
Pleasant good evening and welcome to the sports. Well, we start with football because it was a good weekend for some and a sad weekend for others, because the Liberia Football Association National League continued with wins for several of the club, and one of the eye-catching fixture was the defeat to league leaders Watanga FC and Nima FC, one of the clubs in the middle of the league table. Surprised many by defeating or handling Watanga FC, their first defeat of the season. The game finished 1-0 at the Ganta Sports Stadium in Northern Liberia in Nimba County. That result, plus Barracks Young Controllers' own win against Barracks Young Controllers' 4-2 win over Lee Strugglers FC Facel, means there is only 1 point between the leaders and second placer BYC. LPRC orders also maintain the pressure on the top two, winning as well in their game at the weekend. Orders defeated Small Town FC 3-0 to keep the pressure. They are now level on 15 points with second place Barracks Young Controllers, both separated now on goal difference. And Nimba United suffered a second home defeat in a period of 2 weeks, falling at the hands of Liska FC at the North Star Stadium. Now the south part in football is the news that a football referee died on Saturday while participating in the FIFA fitness test. The test was administered at the Samarkando Sports Complex in Painesville. Lake Masakwa is the name of the football referee who was based in Margibi County, the lower part of Margibi County, and officiated matches at the Unification Towns field as well as the Nesebido Stadium. He fell just a moment after kick-starting the fitness test, and medical report says he died of heart failure. Well, but before he got to the track to take the test, the medics at the fitness test said he was given a clearance to compete in the competition, meaning they did not recognize or identify any medical issue with him. He and 48 other referees had to be screened by the medics before being given the go-ahead. He was a senior student at the University of Liberia and has joined the Liberia football referees in 2014. Scores of mourners as well as football followers have been paying tribute to the 34-year-old who passing also saw all league matches in Margibi at the weekend cut off. To kickball, Supreme Girls ended the winning spree of Blackton KC at the weekend, and Supreme Girls, who had their own unbeaten run in the last weekend, managed to beat Blackton 5-3 home runs, and the two teams had to play 9 rounds of innings before a winner could be decided. Amazon also suffered a defeat in a competition at the hands of Community Youth Empowerment, or CYE, one of the fierce rivals in the competition. CYE defeated Amazon 2-0 home runs. Also returning to winning way was Sarias Girls, who defeated Lee Strugglers Fit Sisters 7-0. And in observance of this year's International Day of Sports and Development, the National High School Sports, with support from UNESCO, will April 6th stage a day-long sporting event, and that will take place at the Fenner campus of the University of Liberia. Several high schools, including the Nathan in Gibson, the Airport Baptist, the Carisbrand Public School, among others, will participate in the event, while cash prizes and trophies await the winners in that competition. And the school will participate in handball, volleyball, basketball, kickball, and football. And that's it for the sports. We have more for you tomorrow.
And of course, many thanks to Koliba Zeze for that sports segment of the news right here on LNTV News Live. The president of the Motorcyclists and Tricycle Union of Liberia have condemned the burning of a police station in Wiala, Margibi County. The station was burned by angry motorcyclists who are calling on the Liberia National Police to swiftly investigate the mysterious killing of a fellow motorcyclist. Here is John Kenyon, president of the Motorcyclists and Tricycle Union of Liberia.
The law should take its course, because I want to say here emphatically emphatically clear that by you being a motorcyclist does not in any way mean that you should be a troublemaker. All right, we've been branded negatively, and so under our leadership, under our watch, we want to make sure that we clean the kind of mess that is within our sector, and in cleaning that, the bad apples should be rooted out. And so with that, we remain resolute to our decision that whoever want to bring this sector to a public rescue definitely will take it out.
The major concern of the
reason why we are very instrumental working with the Liberia National Police in making sure, because I actually told all of our task forces, any of our people that will be identified, anywhere they go, they should be arrested. All right? And they should be turned over to the Liberia National Police. And so we'll be resolute to that. What we can tell them, even only if they feel offended, all they can do, they should come to us for redress.
Meanwhile, he's calling on the Liberian National Police to swiftly intervene and bring the perpetrators to book.
You know, there's a saying that says that every military delay is danger to military movement. And so with that, even only if we want to fight the art of violence and then the art of crime in the community, in our society, we need to be very, very vigorous in terms of handling matters. And so our justice system, we actually want to call on them for expeditious process, where at the end of the day, the due process, will be done, so that at the end of the day, because one thing I should say here, whenever sometimes people commit crime and they are taken to court and perhaps sent to a Montreal Central Prison, within 2 weeks, you will see the person out.
The Liberia Medical and Dental Association, LMDA, has carried out its first free medical service delivery and outreach program in Bon County. According to LMDA President Emmanuel Ikeneba, the association has offered several free medical delivery services in the county and donated medical items to the Phoebe Hospital.
Doctors made donation of their time, some partners gave, some hospitals gave. Phoebe went beyond to see what could be done. So today the aim here is to do capacity building and also to do service delivery. We will run up free medical services for all the services. We have the dentist here, we have the ophthalmology or eye people, we have the internal medicine, we have family medicine, we have OBGYN, those that take care of women problems. And then we'll have surgeries that will be done free of charge. So, and then we'll also have some training and education, that we also have mental health going along with us. So,
speaking after the donation, Bon County Health Officer Dr. Alphonsus Yela lauded LMDA for the gesture, noting that the items will benefit the people of Bon County.
I feel very good that the people of this region are going to receive some quality services these few days. This outreach is something that is very commendable. It is something that will give LMDA a new look. It's giving us a new direction. It's giving us a new perspective into how we do things. I got a personal philosophy that if you are living and nobody is benefiting from you, then you're not living, because living is giving. So, taking this trend, I'm very happy on behalf of the Ministry of Health and the County Health Team of Bon County. We want to say thank you guys for coming, Liberian Medical and Dental Association. All of our doctors that are here, I see some of my big brothers that are being here along with us all along.
For operations, Robert Budi is urging youth in the country to be obedient and focused if they must play future leadership roles. Inspector Budi said youth have a pivotal role to play in the development of the country. He spoke Sunday at the Paradise Ministry International Incorporated on the Smart Road, O Road.
The Bible clearly states that honor your father and your mom and your day will be long. I urge all the young people out there to be obedient to their parents and put all their trust and hope in the Lord. They should always the Bible also further states that obedience is also better than sacrifice. So we want our young people, the future leader of this country, to be very obedient because it comes with blessings. We want this country to be great again. And the young people who take over this country one day, but they need to prepare themselves. So at this time, I will ask all of the young people to be very, very much obedient.
Speaking earlier, the presiding bishop of the Paradise Ministries Incorporated, that's International Incorporated, David King Popolo, frowned at young people who are engaged in disrespecting constituted authorities.
There's trouble coming for your land. There's trouble. There are people in this nation who will not remind the president that there is something need to be done to make sure that what is coming is taken down. But rather, they will get on the air and criticize and curse. This is ungodly. Liberians, our nation was built on Christian principle. We did not come up with such a life where someone will get on the air and abuse the president and abuse the leadership. You are doing that to God because God said no leadership comes from anywhere except He approved. So if you come against people that talk negatively, you are speaking against heaven. Liberians, I want you to know today that this is not our way of behaving. It is ungodly.
The National Muslim Women Caucus is commending President George Manawiya for the nomination of Judge Yusuf Kaba as Associate Justice to the Supreme Court of Liberia. If confirmed, Judge Yusuf Kaba will replace former Associate Justice Kabina Janet at the Supreme Court. Speaking in an interview with the station Monday, the chairperson of the caucus, Wata Toure, said they are grateful to the Liberian president for his farsightedness to nominate Judge Yusuf Kaba, who possesses a wealth of experience.
To give my thanks and appreciation to our president, President George Manawiya, for appointing Judge Yusuf Kaba as the Associate Supreme Court Judge, and we are very happy about it. And to take him thanks again.
And away from home now, the first death from cholera has been confirmed in a cyclone-hit port city of Beira. The cases of the disease in Beira City have almost doubled in Mozambique in the past 24 hours. Cyclone Ida, which hit on March 14, caused massive flooding and killed more than 700 people across southern Africa. More than 500 cases of cholera have since been reported in Beira. That brings us to the end of this edition of the program. Before we let go, a very reminder of the big stories we followed. President George Manawiya arrives in Senegal, holds bilateral talks with his Guinean counterpart, Alpha Condé, meets past and former heads of state. Calm returns to Wheeler Township in Margibi County following protests by motorcyclists that led to the burning of a police station in that area. Former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf wants democracy strengthened across the world at the African Women Leaders Network Steering Committee meeting currently taking place in Monrovia. And away from home, more than 500 cases of cholera reported in Mozambique, with the first death confirmed after Cyclone Ida. Many thanks to all of you for watching LNTV News Live. Many thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, contributors, and searchers for making this edition a success. On behalf of the entire production team here at the Liberia National Television, my name is Edward Tama. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
The Liberia Institute of Public Administration is the premier center of excellence in capacity building and development for sustained quality service delivery.
What I envision right now is more of capacity development where we can expand skill set and expertise to have organizational development.
LIPA now offers long-term professional development courses with 4 quarters, each covering 2 semesters for first degree entry requirements in public procurement management, project planning and management, internal audit and control, monitoring and evaluation, public financial management, HR and performance management, public policy analysis, banking and finance, public sector management,